The social login is a very useful feature we can adopt when we are going to provide to our user options for enter inside our applications. The classical ones is when we ask the user for creating a new account, giving one specific username and one specific password for your own platform. But many cases, better than that, we can provide to user the options to utilize the same account it already utilize in some another platform they are already used to utilize, like the one from Google. That's the topic we are going to see in this video. Here we are going to see how to integrate the Google authentication in one external application. And basically are necessary just a few steps, like we need to prepare the application in the Google Cloud Console. We are going to take a look on that. And then we can prepare our client application, the authentication interface, which has to import this library here. We need to inform what is your application using the same key you are going to receive from your Google Cloud Console. And then for designing the Google button for user click and pop up the login interface, you need to input just this HTML code here. Now let's experiment that. Right, this screen is the main Google Cloud Console. You may reach this screen once you have one Google account. So you can type on Google Cloud Console, and this will be probably the first result. It will appear. Once you are inside, here you may see the list of projects and create a new project if necessary. Okay, once the project is created, then our work starts here. Here, this option for menu navigation, very important. You may click here, and then here you have API and services. Now you have to go to credentials at the first step. In the credentials, you have to create here one OAuth 2.0 client IDs. You need to create that, and once it's created, you are going to receive here a client ID. This client ID is very important because you are going to utilize that to copy in your HTML file, which you are going to integrate with Google Authentication. Okay, once you have created your client ID, you also need to enter here inside or clicking here. So here in this screen, you have to include the URIs from your application. The URI which you are going to include the script we have to import, and also the URI the user is going to be when the login is going to happen. So these two URIs are very important to include here in both fields. So here is the example source code, very simple code, and actually most of this code was copied from the official web page that gives the hints about how to do that. Then here in this meta field in head of your HTML document, you need to input your ID from your application. You need to import the library. And then here is the function that is going to be triggered when your user is successfully authenticated. And of course, you may have to personalize this function here. That's going to be the callback. Once the user is properly authenticated, you may use its information to linking with some internal ID that your application utilizes. So the service here is just for authenticate the user. So Google is going to say, okay, this user with this name, with this email is the user that says to be. Now, how you are going to do that? Each application handle that differently. So we need to extend this code based on your specific application. And then this code here, it looks like a simple div, but because of this class here that's created automatically by this library here, this div here is going to be rendered like one button that user may be able to click and then
integrate with Google Authentication. Now let's experiment that. Now let's experiment the code. So this button here was automatically created based on this div we have seen in code. When clicking here, it prompts with your existing accounts, and then user can use existing ones or add a new one and try to authenticate. And here we are authenticated. If we press to see the console here, you may see the user ID, the username, the user URL for the image, and the email. So it means the callback has properly triggered. So it's that for this video. Thank you for your attention.